Hey everyone, welcome back. Got another boxing video for you. I just got to say that YouTube boxing as a whole is one of the best things to ever come out of this website. It seriously did change the game. For years and years, YouTubers would talk crap about one another, you know, in videos and podcasts. And people could get away with saying whatever they wanted. However, now with YouTube boxing, you gotta be careful, because if you annoy someone and if they start challenging you to a boxing match, you can settle your differences like men. And this whole YouTube boxing scene came about in 2018 thanks to Joe Weller and KSI. And obviously we've seen quite a lot of fights, some good and some well, terrible, but either way it's super entertaining, and some YouTubers have surprised us. They've been okay at boxing. So in this video we're going to do a countdown of the top 5 best YouTube boxers that we've seen so far. Okay, so coming in at position number 5, it's got to be Scarce. He's an absolute animal. Look at them swings. They can knock out Deontay Wilder. I mean, this man is crazy. I'm only kidding. In position 5, it's got to be Deji Olatunji, or his boxing name is The Tank. Now, for obvious reasons, it's hard to put Deji on this list because, you know, he just declined a fight against Anderson Gibb. However, this list has got nothing to do with my personal opinion on the people. It's literally about the boxing ability that they've shown us. And Deji, out of a lot of the other YouTubers, Deji did alright. What I'm basing this knowledge off is of his Jake Paul fight. I don't think anyone can deny the fact that Deji did pretty damn well against Jake. Surprisingly, Deji was pretty quick with his hands. Deji actually put up a pretty good fight, despite the fact that he actually changed trainers halfway through his training. And obviously Jake and Logan trained together, which would have a massive benefit because, you know, you've always got that person supporting you, pushing you harder. Deji didn't have any of that. Despite that, he still put up a very good fight against Jake. And another reason why I put Deji on this list is because KSI said this.
Oh, he's a better boxer than me. Like, 100%. He's just naturally better. He's like a better athlete. He's naturally, bro, he's like, I remember in school, he'd destroy me at like 100 meters and stuff like that. He's just naturally an athlete.
And that's the thing that's really annoying about Deji. I genuinely believe that he could be a very good fighter if he put in the work. However, he hasn't proved to anyone that he is as good as he says he is. So for now, he's going to stay in position number 5 on this list. Hopefully one day he'll go higher up, but we never know. This is Deji we're talking about. Alright, so coming in at 4th place, this one has to be no one else besides Gibb. Now, Gibb actually has a pretty good boxing record. He's got 2 wins and 1 loss. Now, Gibb secured his first 2 wins because of the way he is as a person. There is something special about Gibb. Gibb has such enthusiasm and so much energy towards this YouTube boxing. You can just tell that he loves it. And yes, a lot of people have taken the piss out of Gibb. However, he's not as bad as you may think. People mock Gibb for the way he fights. However, you need to understand the fact that Gibb is a small guy. Gibb fights the way he does, charging forward, because if you're shorter, you need to get closer and on the inside to your opponent. However, the biggest drawback with Gibb is that, yeah, he understands that he needs to get up close. However, he doesn't necessarily swing with much coordination. It's a little bit wild, and when you're that close to someone who's a good boxer, they're gonna knock you out. I respect that Gibb has got 2 wins. However, he's not going any higher up this list because his scrappy boxing style, it doesn't really work. I mean, let's face it, if Gibb was to fight someone who's even half decent at boxing or knows what they're doing, he's just gonna get beaten up. And that is pretty much exactly what happened earlier this year.
Jake Paul is punishing him a bit here, and the referee has stepped in and he's waved this one off with a few seconds.
Alright, so coming into position number 3, it's got to be Logan Paul. Now, Logan's record is pretty terrible. He's got 1 draw and 1 loss. Despite that, it's pretty obvious that Logan is actually a good boxer. If Logan was to fight either Deji or Gibb, it's no competition. Logan would obviously win, so that's why he's higher. But the problem with Logan Paul is he performed better on his first fight than he did on his second. On the first fight, Logan had about 3 or 4 months to become a good boxer, and I'm going to quickly show you some replays from the first fight to show you how good Logan's defense was and how good his attacks were. Just by looking at them clips that you just saw, you can see that Logan did know what he was doing. However, in the second fight, he didn't really do anything. I don't know if it's because he didn't care, but I don't know. I feel like Logan has a lot more to show than he did. However, the only reason why Logan is at position number 3 is basically because in reality, he really wasn't that far behind KSI. I'm not saying this from a biased standpoint at all. That fight was pretty damn close to a draw. It really wasn't a clear win either side. But because KSI did take that win, he is going to be higher on this list than Logan. But anyway, like I said, I honestly think Logan has a lot more to show, and maybe one day he will. But for now, we don't know. Alright, so coming in at position number 2 has got to be JJ. I know some people are going to be sat there thinking, what? But please just hear me out. Just remember, this list is based off of the boxing skill that has been shown so far. And whether people like it or not, KSI has not shown the best boxing skill at all. However, out of all the other people on this list below, he's done a better performance than them. But anyway, KSI himself, he's a strange fighter. When you watch him swinging and the way he just boxes, it doesn't look like anyone you've ever seen. His style is just crazy, just loads of stamina, but it works. I mean, he beat Logan Paul. Like, I don't think there's any question about it. The person that has the most amount of spirit when it comes to this, it's got to be JJ. Like, I feel like if he got punched and knocked out, he would do the Tyson Fury and just stand up. And that is pretty damn dangerous in a fight. However, the reason why he's not in position 1 is having a warrior spirit is not going to make you the best fighter. The problem with both Gibb and KSI is they're not that coordinated. So when you do come against someone who does know how to box, you will just be open and they'll just smash you in the face constantly. And no matter how much spirit you have, there's only so much beating a man can take. I think if KSI could learn how to control his emotions and just tone it down a peg or two, you know, just take his time, it could be one of the best boxers on YouTube. But from what we've seen so far, the only thing that's kind of amazing is just his stamina and his spirit, and that's about it. I mean, fair play to him, man, but he does need to learn how to box properly. The only person on this list to actually prove they have learned boxing properly is in position number 1. So if you watched my channel before, you probably won't be surprised who's in number 1. It's got to be Jake Paul. Firstly, Jake has a pretty damn good boxing record. He has 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Not to mention, both of Jake's opponents didn't even make it to the final round as he got a TKO on them. And if you want, you could even count Joe Weller's scrap, where Jake finished Joe in literally 1 round. So basically, so far, he has the best track record out of everybody. And the reason why he has such a good track record is simply because he's outboxed all of his opponents. Now, if you watched my videos before, you may have heard me say that pretty much all of the YouTube boxers are on like a YouTube level. Basically means we're not expecting them to throw hands like an actual boxer. It's more or less just for entertainment. Like, realistically, you can't take most of the YouTube boxers fighting seriously. However, Jake Paul, I know people hate him, but he just is a different breed. And that shows when it was Gibb versus Jake. Gibb was still on that YouTube level and Jake just wasn't. You can make all the excuses you want as to why Jake beat him, but don't take my word for it. Take Eddie Hearn's word for it.
He can fight, Jake Paul. I said
what
before.
About Gibb? I mean, he wasn't there at the races today.
Gibb just was the nervous energy came in. His legs weren't the best. Jake Paul was just too good for him. Strong boy, hit punches hard. The finish was nice, good right hand, and it was good performance. Now he wants KSI.
And the reason why Jake defeated Gibb so easily is because he wasn't just flat on his feet, he was moving around the ring, getting away from the corners where Gibb would have been lethal, used his jab and a bunch of other combinations to keep Gibb away from him, and Gibb just didn't have a chance. He could not get close to Jake at all. And the moment Gibb even did get close, there was a counteract from Jake. There was just clearly 2 different levels of boxing ability. And for me, I'm not a boxing expert, however, the only person that seems to be even vaguely like a professional boxer is Jake, and that is why he's at the top of this list. So if you agreed with me, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and also if you're new, make sure you subscribe. I need to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I'm going to be uploading as much as I possibly can from now on. And also, if you've made it this far into the video, type any question you want into the comments and I'll use it in a Q&A video. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. Peace!